Hey guys, welcome back to ProComps meta forecast for 25.13. This tournament patch is going to be all about MSIs. There aren't as many changes as you would first think, but in today's video we're going to be going over the best champions at the tournament and for you to play at home. For the best champions in the top lane this current patch, for everybody in SoloQ, it hasn't changed a lot. You have champions like Shen and Shen who are super powerful up there. But in pro play, some of these tanks have been getting a lot more popular. One of them being Sion, the other one being Ornn. So if you're playing in a high intense environment, pick up these champions to be that front line. If you want more damage, we have the Gwen, we have the Imbessa. This top lane, this current patch has got a lot of different things to play. For top laners to watch out in the tournament, I would give Bin as the main character to go for. He plays for BOG. For the jungle, there are a few different changes, one of them being Fiddlesticks getting a buff and Kindred and Nidalee, while the Vi is going to be getting a nerf. This Nidalee pick, please don't pick up in SoloQ. It's only for the highest tier players. Unfortunately, at this next tournament, we have Canyon, one of the best Nidalees in the world, so it's going to be fantastic to see him pilot that. But for you in SoloQ, make sure to stick with the champions we talked about last patch with the Ivern, Shaco, and Nocturne. If you want to pick up a new one, I think Fiddlesticks is very strong in the meta. You just have to play around that vision and get a huge crow stop. For the mid laner, it has to be Faker as the main guy there. We finally get to see him at another tournament. He, of course, didn't make it towards the last stand. And for the major buffs and nerfs for this patch, in the mid lane, there is no buffs except for if you want to call Irelia a mid laner. And for the nerf, it is going to be Rise and Twisted Fate. I'm really happy about this Twisted Fate nerf. He was super strong in the last patch. And for us, he wasn't just in our S tier, he was in the S+ tier slot. So now it is still going to be Zoe, Talon, and Syndra for SoloQ. But when you get yourself into competitive play, I think champions like Orianna and Victor are going to be taking over the meta. For AD carries, there are completely no changes in the current patch. So it is going to be Jinx, Tristana, and Kog'Maw at that S tier slot for us, and make sure to pick them up in SoloQ. And for MSI, take a look at Hans Sama, the AD carry for G2. He's somebody who absolutely loves this Draven, and once he gets this person in his hands, he just completely dominates the game. For support, it's the complete same as the AD carry. There are no changes in the current patch. So our S tier champions are going to be Leona, Sona, and Elise down towards the bot lane. Elise is more for that competitive play at MSI, and the person that I think pilots it the best is going to be Keria, the support for T1 again. This person is one of the best supports in the world, and I even made a full video breaking down how amazing he is. But out of all the S tier champions, we already talked about the top two for me, and the S+ tiers, one of them is going to be Leona on support, and the second one is going to be Ivern in the jungle. This just helps a lot in SoloQ because they are going to be blind pickable as well. Because for every lane, you need to have somebody you can pick up and not worry what the enemy picks into you. So for the top lane, the two people I recommend, it's still going to be the Shen, and I'm going to be changing it to Sion, a champion which we all know and love because of the bows. Heading over towards the jungle, it is going to be that Ivern we mentioned, and Jarvan. This champion, if there's a mobile carry on the enemy team, absolutely dominates that lane. And for the mid lane, it is going to be that Syndra, and we're adding in Orianna, as you have that shockwave you can combo up with the J4 or really any hard engaged jungler. For AD carry, it's going to be Jinx. Senna's completely dropped out the meta, so we are going to be swapping this out for the Kog'Maw. You do need to have people helping you stay safe on this champion. You can do a lot if you're able to do so. And for the support role, we're going to go for the Leona, and we're going for Sona. But honestly, you can pick any support in the current meta, and it should be doing okay. For our next segment is going to be best duo champions. So we're spicing it up a little bit this week. With MSI around the corner, what we're going to do is pick one team and see what they play together. So at the start, we're going to go for FlyQuest. Is going to be their top laner and their jungler, Bwipo and Inspired. So some things they love to play together is a really tanky top laner with a hard aggressive jungler. In their most recent games, they were able to pick up a Gragas and a Kha'Zix, maybe a Cho'Gath and a Nocturne, Sion and a Xin Zhao, but my favorite one out of all of them is going to be the Renekton-Sejuani. The reason I love this combo so much is the Sejuani passive you can stack instantly with that Renekton W. So if you are in SoloQ and want to try and mesh up with your jungle and top laner, this combination is the one for you. And then for the mid jungle, we'll be heading over to T1. Everybody knows Ona and especially Faker over there. One combination that I saw them do was with a Kindred and a Galio, and I absolutely love this combination, as Galio is that tanky front line to allow Kindred to be that main carry on the side. Whenever Kindred wants to go for the marks in the enemy jungle, Galio can always ult down and help support them. For the AD carry and support, we'll be heading over to their arch enemy rival Shen. What they like to play is a very big hyper carry and a very strong defensive support. They love to play something called Lucian Braum, and this is one of my favorite combinations down towards the bot lane. The main reason for this is if you ever get the passive of Braum onto someone, Lucian's able to proc it instantly, allowing you to be very safe and very aggressive in the same laning phase. For some other combinations they like to play, you have Senna and Alistar. Of course, with the Senna nerfs, it is weaker in this current patch. But some other ones is Kai'Sa Neeko, or Neeko with any real support is this incredible flex pick. So let's head over to the best draft for each gameplay style. And because of course it being about MSI, we're going to do it to every single region. First of all, we're going to start off with the LCK, and if you know you're in this region, you are going to have Vi in the jungle. They absolutely love this champion. It's always pick or ban. The things they like to pair it up with is a Renekton in the top lane, Ahri in the mid lane, and an MF rail towards the bot. Because this mid-jungle duo, if you ever find a Vi ultimate, Ahri's able to engage afterwards and it's a free kill. While towards the bot lane, it's the exact same thing. Rel finds an engage, MF used the bullet time on top, and it will be a fun time. So if you just want to have a simple playstyle, the LCK is the way to go. Now let's head over towards Europe. Here there's a few different champions that people like to play that are unique. We have Swain, Maokai, Tristano, Draven and Blitzcrank. The Draven, somehow Europe has all of the Draven players. We've got Hans Sama, we've got Kalist and plenty more of that. This team comp is all about finding picks and getting your AD carry and mid laner ahead. So if you can help your Tristano and Draven find a lead, it's perfect. But the Swain in the top lane is just showing a bit of spice of what they have in Europe. Over towards their rivals in North America, the land of the free, they love to have a easy to execute composition with a tank in the top lane and damage dealers in the bot lane. So for this comp, you can have Sion in top, Trundle in the jungle, Azir, Sivir and Karma to round out the comp. This one is really about just trying to scale towards the late game and be ready for those massive team fights. They do cook sometimes towards the top lane, especially Bwipo, so maybe we'll see a Gragas come out or some other weird champ. For the next composition, China absolutely loves to fight anything and everything, and this composition really proves it, as they're going to have Ambassador, Jarvan, Taliyah, Caitlyn, Neeko. They want every single lane to stomp as hard as possible because of how mechanically good they are. The main thing I want to point in is going to be the Caitlyn and Neeko towards the bot lane. We all know about Caitlyn Morgana. They want to try and get tower place and find a lead through there. That's the exact same thing with this composition of trying to help the Caitlyn find a lead, and if they can't, just get your Neeko to roam around the map and help everyone else find those major team fights. And finally, it's the most underrated region out there. It's the LCP. These teams can of course get themselves towards the quarters and maybe even semi-finals, and I want people to take them a little bit more seriously. For their team composition, it's going to be Yorick, Nocturne, Aurora, Kalista, Renata. How they like to work is the bot lane, they always give a powerful duo like the Kalista Renata or maybe even a Zyra Khan, while the rest of them try and go for mostly just power picks, especially with the top laner on the Yorick, something that I'm not sure other regions are picking up as much. And to wrap up this video, who do you think is going to be winning in MSI? Make sure to download the ProComps app if you want any more knowledge or anything else about League of Legends.